Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Vijana Vital Voices, a show that brings you discussions with young people who are doing amazing things. And we always say that here we are having what we call conversations that inspire greatness right here at Icon Radio. Remember to follow us on Icon Radio KE on all platforms, that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to just, get a view of or a feel of what other entertainment shows that we do have, political shows that we have. Today, my guest is none other than Danson Peter Kibira, who is doing amazing things, not just with the young people, but within the corporate space. He's creating employment. He's transforming the lives of young people. He is the founder or a founder member of Burusafi, C.B.O, and the proprietor of Young Tax Connections. So, Peter, welcome so much to our show.
Asante sana, Ruth.
Nasikia unaitwa Danso.
Danso jina mtaani. My names depend on where we've met.
Where you've met.
Yes.
And what you're doing with that particular individual that is relating to you.
Yes.
So, before we even go into the show, deep into the discussion, I'd like you to just introduce yourself properly and tell us, what other titles do you hold? What do you do? Take it away.
All right, my official names are Peter Danson, Kibira
Yes.
Kamau. We are two siblings.
Yes.
And we are the X generation.
Yes.
As in, sindo tulikuwa tunaenda ushago after kufunga shule. So, yes, we have
You grew up in Nairobi, basically.
Grew up in Nairobi,
Yes.
but all our holidays were in Ushago.
Yes.
And that's actually where I got my inspiration from in terms of innovation.
Yes.
I think I'll come to that in detail.
Okay. All right. So I want us to just jump right into the discussion and get to know, what does Young Tech Connections do? What is it that you do with Young Tech Connections?
It's been a process.
Yeah.
Transition.
Yeah.
We first started out as a cyber installing company. We used to install softwares for cybers. And that's the time Microsoft had brought in some strict rules. So actually, I'm the founder, one of the founders who started installing Linux on all cybers in Nairobi.
Ah, okay.
Be it Westlands, even Keraide.
Linux, unajua sisi generation ingine, Linux ni software.
It's an operating system.
Yes.
Wengi wanaita Ubuntu, there's Red Hat, but
yes.
I used to install the Ubuntu derivative.
Yeah.
Because it's free, so hakuna kulipa license,
Yeah.
and it used to work very well for the cybers. Wale wanaitishwa license ya Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So-
how it started.
Okay, so what exactly, so moving forward, what do you do?
Okay, along the way, we also now ventured into other IT, say, surveillance systems. That's where we've perfected. We are doing also some good jobs for the corporate world. We did one in Tattoo City, that is Coopers. We've done for Bolore Logistics, Airtel, their warehouse at Samia.
Yeah.
We have done for the Huawei warehouse.
Yeah.
We also done some few jobs for, these other small companies, and let's say you're growing.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Young Tech Connections, I mean, earlier on we were having a discussion and you were telling me about how you have created employment, how the impact that Young Tech Connections has had on young people. What exactly do you incorporate young people in your work? How have you created employment, or have you created employment, if any?
Yes, we do. Actually, the main thing is here is most of the young people, when they clear from 4, they don't have those school fees to pay, college and all. But you see, this guy is really willing to learn. So I take a few, train them. When I'm going to site, I make sure they know each and every step of the installations.
Yes.
So within 6 months, anaweza jisimamia. I can give him a small site, mwambie jiendeleze na hiyo, and then they set their own shop and then proceed with life.
Yeah. So how many lives have you touched so far? Like in a nutshell, how many people have you impacted so far in terms of job creation with Young Tax?
I cannot quite give a number.
Yes.
Because along the way, as I told you, have been transitioning from software installing business to surveillance systems. Now we're also doing some internet works. So it all in all those phases, we also did some hardware maintenance courses.
Yes.
Because I used to have a workshop in Buruburu. So there I used to train them how to repair laptops and all. and they're still proceeding. Actually, there are some who are still there going on with the work.
Okay. Wow, looks like you have created sometimes it's very hard to track how many employment opportunities you've created when you're a business person.
Yes.
Especially when you're dealing with many people at the same time.
True,
It's
true.
very difficult to, and I always say it's a chain reaction that once you help one person, then they end up creating employment for more people. So it's like a chain reaction. You get along the way. Once you begin to assess your impact, you find that so many people have benefited.
Yes.
Even though you might have impacted only 2 lives, but as a result of that, they grow, they start their own businesses, and then they create more employment for other people.
Yes.
So I understand why it would be difficult to say that this is the specific number of people whose lives you have transformed.
I would actually maybe point one.
Yes.
This is now my younger cousin. I nurtured him in he was doing his JQuat degree. I nurtured him in matters of robotics and
What's robotics?
okay, coding Arduino boards.
Yes.
That's where you get your drones,
Yeah.
and etc. and
Yeah.
automation.
Yeah.
Maybe the house automation and all. So I introduced him to the Arduino concept, and he won this Tech Expo last year November, East Africa.
Wow.
That's a JQuat.
Wow.
He became number 1 because
Wow.
he developed an automation of aquaponics, I think.
What's that all about?
It's a way of automating growing of crops using water, but via automation.
Automated irrigation.
Yes, automated
systems.
irrigation. It's like hydroponics, but this one is aquaponics.
I'm just hoping that I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So where is he right now? Has he started his own company? Is he doing his own thing?
Right now, he's waiting to graduate. We are working together.
Yes.
Like we had another site in Karatina, we did together with him.
Yes.
So I'm still nurturing him so as he can see what is out there. The experience part will even broaden his mind on what to automate, and also he know how to apply his knowledge in the real world.
Yeah. Wow. So I want to move more towards the work that you do with young people on a large scale, which is basically Burusafi C.B.O. Tell us what Burusafi C.B.O. is. You are a founder member, so I understand. What is it all about? When did it start? Before we jump into what it does, when did Burusafi C.B.O. start? Where did the concept come from? Is it is it people who live together? Is it only covering Buruburu? Does it relate to Buruburu in any way? Because I know Buru is Buruburu. So tell us about Burusafi C.B.O.
Okay, thing is, a lot of young people used to meet at the shopping center because of joblessness. Some are hopeless.
This is Buruburu Shopping Center.
This is Buru Shopping Center.
Yes.
So we sat down and started thinking of ways to try and hold conversations together and get to know how we can help each other. So the only way we could do that is maybe by activities, So me and some few friends of ours, we formed the Burusafi C.B.O. with the aim of, as the name suggests, Safi, meaning we clean up the hood. So we were doing cleanups in all courts, the whole of Buruburu Shopping Center, the whole of Mtindwa. But at the same time, when we have our free time, we used to converse freely amongst ourselves on ways on how to uplift each other.
Okay. So basically it came from when you realize that these young people were sitting, idling, were there any effects of their being jobless and just idling around? What were the consequences of them sitting and just idling around? What were the effects of the same?
Okay, thing is, some are past 40, not yet married, still living with their moms.
Yeah.
And yet it's not their wish. Some have degrees, they have despaired because they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
We also try to encourage them that it's not a must you get employed. You should actually maybe even try to venture in business, because the employment opportunities, white collar jobs no longer exist. They only exist for a few. So we are trying to actually broaden their mind so that they can even grasp in other new concepts of how to survive.
Okay. Wow. Before we get into the discussion about how does it work, how does this C.B.O operate, where funding comes from, and all the other intricate questions about the operations of the C.B.O, I'd like to just take a short music break. Before we take the short music break, remember we are on Vijana Vital Voices show, where we have conversations that inspire greatness. We are live on www.iconradio.co.ke. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Icon Radio KE. Follow us to just get a feel of what other shows we have, the entertainment shows that we have, political shows that we have, gossip shows that we have, and of course the number one inspirational show that we have here at Icon Radio. Follow us, and we'll just take a short music break. We'll come back into the discussion and dive deeper into what Burusafi C.B.O does, how many lives have you impacted, and what sort of activities you have undertaken.
Icon Radio.
Well, welcome back to the number one inspirational show in Kenya right now as we speak, Vijana Vital Voices. I was having a conversation, or I'm still having a conversation with Danson, who is the proprietor of Young Tech Connections, and he is also a founder member of Burusafi C.B.O. And we were just having the discussion about what led to the formation of this Burusafi C.B.O. And you had told us that, a lot of young people in Buruburu would sit idle at the town centers, doing absolutely nothing, and you guys decided to come up with something to just bring them together. So what I want to know is, how does this Burusafi C.B.O operate? What are some of the activities that you have or that you've had in the past, and how are these young people involved? So let's just get into the discussion about what you do there. What activities do you do?
Okay, I would say number one, we wanted to create an environment of trying to fight the cartels. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a school called BD Primary.
Yes.
And some cartels wanted to infiltrate the fence and start building vibandas.
Yeah.
So what we did as Burusafi, all the members, we are around 2,500 members. So we all contributed 50 bob to buy flowers.
Yeah.
And we actually planted flowers along the fence where there's supposed to be a pathway. As we wait for the MP,
yes,
then was Bernard Mutura to build a wall.
Yeah.
So in a way, we also protected the kids. Once those shops set up at the school fences, that's where the drugs come in.
Yeah.
So we looked at the longer picture. We saw, okay, yes, there might be some legit businesses.
Yes.
But also from experience, the shops that are set along the school, they are the ones that sell drugs to the schools, to the school kids.
Yeah.
So actually, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And we got some tremendous help from the MP, provided a barbed wire so that we can protect the flowers.
The flowers, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What other activities have you done as the Burusafi C.B.O, and how does it operate? Like on a daily basis? Is it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? Do you do cleanups? What else do you do beyond cleanups? Tell us more about the activities that you do.
We sat down and thought charity begins at home.
Yeah.
You cannot sweep your neighbor's house while yours is dirty. So we started with our own shopping center. After we were done with the shopping center, the businesses around, they started paying us some little money, so that at times, like myself, I'm busy at work, I would hire someone to clean up for me.
Yes.
Right? And others would do the same.
Yeah.
And for instance, Mtindo was a mess, the drainage and all. So twice a week, we used to engage all the traders to clean it up before they were chased away. And now they have a bit few.
Yes.
But that time they were like 500 plus traders. And we were able to sensitize the need about cleanliness. And they were all in. Yes.
So it's mostly cleanups.
It's mostly cleanups.
Yes.
But there's a catch.
Yeah.
Because we started going to the corporates.
Yes.
We engaged the corporates. For example, we went to True Foods. And actually with the support also of the county government. Then the governor was Kidero. And we do cleanups in certain establishments. And when we sat down with the establishments, they would actually offer some jobs. For some of our members who are already qualified, they have degrees. Others have masters. Others would be fished from the group. So it was also a way of job creation using cleanups as an avenue of of creating jobs for the members.
So how many, like, in terms of, so basically once they involve themselves in cleanups, you negotiate with these corporate organizations to absorb some of them?
Yes.
So my question would be, is there a way to measure, like, maybe the impact of this C.B.O? What has been the impact in terms of job creation and in terms of other just has it resolved the idleness problem that you're talking about? How has it transformed the lives of young people who are involved in it, and generally the society around Buruburu?
I would probably say before we started, Buru Shopping Center was a hive of idleness, drug abuse, be it alcohol and all. But once we started, the cleanups and all, it somehow gave purpose to some of the members, because some say were depressed. They didn't know how to talk about their problems. So when you come in as a community and try to figure out how to help each other, you won't obviously help everyone, but at least they say 25 to 30%. They'll get gainful employment. Others will venture into entrepreneurship. There's one I'm very proud of. He's doing some great farming in Nanyuki. He's growing grapes. And he's making it. There are others who are. They started small. They started selling coffee mtaani, tembo. Now I set shop. So it's just a way of giving someone encouragement that it's not over till it's over. There's a way of handling things, like, say, the employment part or party job. There's also the entrepreneurship part. So it's you to gauge which area are you best in. Right.
Okay. So in any way, was this, I want to go back to the problems, or rather what led the inspiration behind this C.B.O. When you talked about idleness, was it in any way related to, like, crime levels within Buruburu? Did it in any way, correlate to crime levels, the drug abuse amongst the young people? And do you see, has that changed as a result of this C.B.O? Has there been a significant improvement, if in any way those two are correlated?
What I would say is we have some government programs for the youth. But also, we should also know that those programs are only reserved for a few. Huko kwa ground hakuna. So there's no info on how to, like the Wezo Fund and the Women Fund. There's so few who know about all that. So about the drug abuse, the members were they had despaired. No jobs, some maybe they are in young marriages, bills are piling up, hawana do. So the only thing they could do is go and drink cheap liquor. So once we started the organization, and also the members who had a compulsory fee to pay monthly, be it 50 bob, just some small money. So if a member is in need, tunamsort. Si wenye.
So you developed like a welfare program.
Yes. So that kind of gave others inspiration and hope, so that they stopped using the drugs, and they started now thinking about their lives. And that is the key point, is just giving them hope so that they can now think about the next level. How to survive.
Wow. Guys, remember we are here at Vijana Vital Voices show, which is bringing you conversations that inspire greatness, conversations with young people. Today I'm having an amazing discussion with Danson from Buruburu. You're from Buruburu, are you?
Yes.
Ama wewe tu ni, by affiliation. You grew up there?
I grew up there. I lived there.
Yes.
Nilihama lakini naendaga huko daily.
You never forget your roots.
Mtaani.
So before we continue, and I mean before we continue on this discussion, I'd like us to come back to a critical aspect about this whole conversation, that why do you do all these things that you do? Like, what is pushing you towards saying that I want to help young people, I want to be part of groups that are helping young people, I want to create employment, I want to make a difference? What is there like a personal story that you'd say, this is what has inspired me to move towards that direction, to push towards wanting to help young people? Is there like something significant you'd say, now this, if I look back at my life, this is why, this is the inspiration behind what I do?
Personally, I'd say I'm a science person.
Yes.
Since when I was very young. I'll give you a story. I was, I think, in class 4. We built our first radio station in Ushago. We used to call it Kobista, using those transistor radios.
Are you serious?
And we started, yes, with my young uncle called
Yes.
Home. Is actually he hosts some shows on a vernacular
Station. Yes.
He's a one-man guitarist.
Yes.
And also a very good innovator.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I was brought up. Every time I go to the reserve, we'd build stuff and we'd do amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
So in that aspect, when I was after high school, myself, after they say the colleges and all,
Yes.
sikupata job pia. You get?
Yeah.
So
Ilikuwa sasa ni kuhustle.
So me
Survival for the fittest.
Many other kuuza spares.
Yeah,
I'll get me
yeah.
a dust coat and some grease.
Yes.
Alafu jioni naenda class.
Uh-huh.
See, so I was thinking, what if there was a way of, like me, I was like 6 years of my life hustling before I went to school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to actually look at the concept of what if there were some good technical training colleges, because that's my ultimate dream.
Yeah.
I need to build one. Train them, maybe IT and all, get experts in woodwork and all, and try to subsidize the cost of the courses so that they can give them skills.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Because once you get a skill set, you're set. Myself, I went to SOS technical training before I joined campus. I did electrical engineering for around 2.5 years before I ventured into IT.
Yeah.
The technical course I did there is helping me till to date. Since when I am setting up my IT stuff, the electrical knowledge, engineering knowledge is still with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the most basic aspect of all this is if those, because the main point is the Form 4 leavers, they lack school fees when it comes to going to college. Where can they be given an alternative of TTIs that would train them, give them skills, viable skills that would even enable them to self-employ themselves. But also with the help with the government, the government should also include brings a concept of incubators, business incubators.
Yes.
Once you clear college, maybe there's a place built by the government, subsidized rent and electricity bills, you do your stuff there, right? That way we'll be able to grow the private sector.
Yeah. Wow, these are great recommendations that definitely government should look into, because unemployment is still on the rise, and especially within Nairobi and mostly informal settlement areas, young people getting out of colleges without jobs, many of them even leaving high school as low as high school level, primary school level, and cannot proceed. Well, how can we engage them? Now, I want us to take a short break as we come to the last part of this discussion, which is basically what are the happenings, political happenings of the day. I know that you are quite the political animal, so we cannot finish this discussion, and I would not have done you justice if we finished this discussion without just briefly talking about politics and the happenings of the day. Yeah. This is Conversations That Inspire Greatness, Vijana Vital Voices show right here at Icon Radio KE on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on our YouTube channels. Follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more entertainment shows, more political shows about gossip, shows about fashion, and basically just an array of shows. We don't just do Conversations That Inspire Greatness or Vijana Vital Voices show only, but we have other shows here at Icon Radio. I'd like to take a short commercial break. We pay the bills a bit, and then we come back and just finish up on this discussion with Danson.
Icon Radio.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again to the final leg of this discussion with Danson. You know Danson, by the way, eh? They say there is nothing that speaks of injustice if you're seated with a political animal in a discussion and you don't bring up politics. So I gather from your story that we were just talking earlier on, and you were telling me how at one point you tried vying for a political seat.
Yes,
I want to know, how did that go? What was the inspiration? Mbona uli give up along the way? Pesa iliisha ama ilikuwaje? Tell us about your political involvement.
Okay. In politics, I was looking at the local level.
Yes.
The kawaida challenges, what would an MCA do for the community?
Yes.
And the then MCA wasn't quite cooperative. So I was like, let me give it a shot, because I thought it's just black and white. You do this, sort the community, you are set.
Upate ground uko tu sawa. Bora uko na ground.
Nilikuta kuna mambo huko.
Yes.
So, okay, not that it was a good experience,
yes.
number one. Number two, jinangu ime spread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, you know me as statesman.
Yes.
Everyone knows me as statesman.
In fact, I was like, I don't even know your real name. Because I know you as statesman. By the way, where did the name come from? From politics?
Actually, I love my country.
Yes.
And whatever I do, I put my country first.
Yes.
And that's why I'm in Azimio.
Yeah. Okay.
Is as in, to be honest.
Yes.
Politics is not built up around hate.
Yes.
It's built about interest. My interest is of making Kenya habitable for all.
Yes.
We don't bagua anyone, right? And also offer opportunities for all. Not just the majority communities, even the minorities deserve to have a say.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at in a way that all Kenyans would coexist, even if we have divergent views.
Yes.
Let it not
that we can actually sit together and have a discussion without having to fight.
Yes.
What do you have to say about the behavior of our politicians, though, when we talk about, when we as citizens are saying that we can actually sit down regardless of our political affiliations and still have a conversation and still coexist, yet we see the opposite, the exact opposite happening in Parliament? What do you have to say about that? Especially whenever contentious bills come to the floor of the House.
I would say I am really pissed off.
Yeah.
With the current leadership we have, not say the MPs, for example, for bills to pass lazima wachotewe.
Yes.
Like seriously. Right now, somebody of mine are telling me Mudavadi was given some cash
for the earthquake.
Earthquake ifanyike. Me, I didn't feel a thing.
Yes.
Right, but him is shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni yake.
Yes.
But I would say Kenya lacks patriots.
Yeah.
We are very few of us. That's why I call myself a statesman. I would never sell my ideals for money. If I believe in something, wacha nisote lakini na stick na hiyo kitu. Una get?
Yeah.
But now, swaying your own, say you change your beliefs because of cash.
Haitakupeleka mahali.
Hiyo ni mbaya. You're a sellout.
And what do you have to tell young people, especially during this election, the voter registration process, that there has been complaints about young people not registering to vote, not taking up, not being interested in the civic involvement of, basically just having zero involvement in the democratic processes in this country? What do you have to tell young people, especially during this voter registration period, the younger generation?
Vijana mjitokeze.
Yeah.
Because if you don't vote, mtapangwa na wazai. Me personally, I'm actually supporting youthful aspirants.
Yes.
Chama ipjalishi. Be it UDA, be it Azimio, be it what. So long as you are a youth, mambo ingine tutakesi baadaye.
Yeah.
Kwanza, you look at what are your aspirations and dreams, and we support you.
Yeah.
We don't look at Vyama. These Vyama just come to divide us as youth.
Yeah.
But we'll look at the bigger picture. Like now, I'll give you an example. There are some young ladies who are vying for Kiambu governorship. There's Njeri Bakari and there's Alice Wangari. They are going against veteran old mamas.
Yes.
Now mama wameamua hawa wasichana waingi.
Governor or women rep?
Women rep.
Yes.
So that the two work together.
Yes.
Mungoya wa mother.
Yes.
Because you know what is actually what is the best way to solve the youth.
Yeah.
Mother wajui.
Yeah.
You get. Even for the young men like George Kamano and others, there's I think Karobia.
Yeah.
Even in the other camp.
Nairobi has also attracted quite some young, aspirants.
Yes, Fwamba, go for it. Fwamba
yes.
endele, because we need also the fresh start.
Yeah.
Not the same old faces.
Old faces, yes.
Kwani Kenya we are 50 million of us, and then we rudisha to the same faces.
When will our time come?
That is it.
Wow. So I've had an amazing discussion today with Danson, who is the proprietor of Young Tax Connections. He is also a founder member of Burusafi C.B.O. He's told us what Burusafi C.B.O. does, the kind of impact they've had on the lives of young people, how they've managed to create employment, how they've managed to make sure that Buru, which is the estate they love, or the area that they come from that they love, is clean and up to standards. And basically, he's told us about his political involvement. Kabla tumalize tu nataka tu urushe tu kidogo tu. What are some of the challenges that you face working with these young people? Challenges gani una face ndio tumaliziange?
Hizi vitu mnaita kutukuota.
What is tukuota?
In my engagements in the field work, say in the IT industry.
Yes.
sometimes naita maboys kujeni kuna site mahali tuende tuchape. So I'd give them like a K each fare. Next day wateja ukiulizia wako wapi, wako kwa den za kego na wakikunywa. Then you know it now gets it gets frustrating because you know I have to use my usual fundis and I wanted them also to you know get skills, but that's just a fraction. Hiyo ndio ile challenge mwa nayo, drug abuse.
Okay. Wow, so it's basically what is hindering the young people from realizing their potential out there. Wow, thank you so much, Danson. This has been Vijana Vital Voices show that brings you conversations that inspire greatness. Siku moja mkifanya clean up huko Burum tuite pia sisi you know we become a part of the community, you know.
Tuite pia.
Tutawaita sisi tumewaita show lakini sasa nyinyi mtuite sasa tukuje tufanye hizo clean ups na nyinyi, so that you can also just get a feel of how it feels to be part of that community and the kind of impact that you have within the society. Keep doing the amazing job that you do. Remember guys, this is Vijana Vital Voices show on Icon Radio KE. We are available on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I think we are also on TikTok if I'm not wrong. So subscribe to our channels, follow us and just get to have a feel of the discussions that we have here at Icon Radio. I look forward to having another amazing show, looking forward to more amazing guests in the coming weeks. Stay tuned and thank you so much.
Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.